Good morning. Morning quiet practice at the lake. I'm here. You're here. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be doing this morning practice for the first 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks of the summer. I'm going to commit to that right now, 4 weeks for sure. I would love to make it a 6-week project. It's wonderful for me to get out here and be surrounded by all of this wonderfulness. Look at all the wonderfulness around. So valuable. We need to get out into it more. I'm glad you're here to join me. We're going to spend 20 minutes on quiet practice. Quiet practice is really breath and movement. We move into a position, into a posture, and we want to work through a nice full breath in that posture. We should be able to take a full breath in whatever position we find ourselves. Often in life, we stop breathing. We're holding our breath, or we're shallow breathing. All of this has a negative effect on our nervous system. It creates a fight or flight situation in our lives. We can restore joy, peace, and happiness into our lives by focusing on our breathing. Coming to the moment, stepping into the moment. In any given moment, what we need is that breath, is that air. So we get into the position, into the posture. Sometimes positions are uncomfortable. Sometimes situations are uncomfortable. That's okay. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that we can't like it or learn to love it. It's a part of our lives. And hey, you are happy to be alive, right? You wouldn't rather have the alternative, would you? I don't think so. I'm going to start off in a low squat here today. So I've got both my feet flat on the floor. And I'm pushing outwards on my knees. So opening up my inner thighs, opening up my hips, and doing that just by allowing gravity to have its way with my body while I settle down into it and just breathe. Try to take 1 to 3 breaths in every position. Trying to work through nice full breaths. Coming up from there, I'm going to lean over as far as I can to one side. Straightening out one leg, stretching through the glutes and hamstrings, inner thighs, leaning over into one glute on one side, bending over into that knee as far over as I can, and breathing there in that position. Leaning over to the other side, straightening out the other leg, bending over as far as I can into the other knee, dropping low and breathing there. Our breath is the gift that we have that allows us to slip into the power of each moment. Our breath is the gift, but we need to focus on the breath. Head hanging down, just breathing there. Both legs straight, and your attention on your breathing. Try to take your mind off of anything that's happened yesterday, last week, last year. Try to take your mind off anything that's to come today, things you have to do. Let's not think about that right yet. Let's try to be present. It's a practice. It's a skill you can develop. Both hands over to one side, pulling your head towards the knee, straightening out that leg, just breathing there. Both hands over to the other side, bringing your head down towards the knee, pulling your head towards that straight leg, and breathing there. Working those feet together. Heel toe, those feet together. Straightening out my legs. And flexing over, hanging out my spine. Reaching over, grabbing the calves, the ankles, behind the knees. Wherever you can bind, wherever you can grab hold, and pulling your head over towards your knees, lifting your tailbone as high as you can. Just breathing there. Spinal flexion. The spine is hanging over, full flexion. And from there, dropping down, hands to the floor, stepping back, and into my high plank. All the muscles along the front of my body working together. From there, letting my knees come down to the mat. Arms are straight. Lifting my chest up high, looking upwards. Spinal extension. Allowing my abdominals to stretch out, my hips to stretch out. Straightening out my arms if I can. If you can't do that on straight arms, you could do that down on your forearms. That's our entry level spinal extension. If the straight arm version is too much for you, just drop down to your elbows. Centering yourself in your breath, coming to the moment. Not drifting off into what has happened. Not worrying about what is to come. Staying present. Learning the skill. It is a skill you can develop. Down on the hands and knees, we can work on that tabletop. Extension through the spine. Extension through the spine. Lifting the hand, lifting the heel as high as you can. Extending your body. Inhale as you extend. Exhale as you come down. Connecting movement and breath if you can. One foot coming forward, one foot right back. We'll start off down on the knee, lunging forward, stretching out the back hips, opening up the front hamstrings, hands down to the instep inside the front foot, lunging forward, just breathing. One to three breaths in any position, in any posture. You should be able to take a nice full breath in any position you're in any situation or circumstance you're in. You should be able to breathe fully in that situation, in that position. It's only fear that blocks us We've learned a habit of living in fear. It's blocking us from achieving, from stepping forward. It's fear that's blocking you. It's always fear that's blocking you. It's never love that's blocking you. We're rarely accessing the love that's all around us. But we can change that. We can move into a more loving interaction with our day, with our lives. Straightening out that back leg, lunging forward into the front leg. Just breathing there. Putting that back knee down, other leg comes forward, picking up that back knee, straightening out that back leg, lunging forward into that front leg. Working our way up from there. One leg forward, one leg back, lunging forward again. Back foot up on the toe, front foot flat on the floor. Let's get that upper body involved. Let's lift those arms straight up. Look up into the gorgeous sky. See the sun. Extend your spine. Straighten out your back leg. Breathe fully. Other leg back. Front leg bent, flat on the floor. Back foot on the toe, back leg nice and straight, lunging forward. Hands coming up. Straight up. Lift out of those shoulders. Lift your chest. Balance. Strength. Flexibility. Breath. Power. Returning the foot. Lifting the tailbone high. Into the air. Pressing through the palms of the hands. Pressing down the heels. Stretching out those ankles. Stretching out those calves. Pressing through those palms, pushing both your heels down now. Straightening out those arms. Allowing your chest to come towards the mat. Coming forward from there. Back into your high plank position. Shoulders over top of your hands. Bringing one knee forward. Chest forward. Looking upward. And breathing. As you're bringing your chest down to your thigh. Coming out of there, other knee comes forward, chest forward, looking upward, extending the spine, stretching through those hips, coming over, collapsing down on the thigh, connecting back with your breath, coming to the moment, coming to the power, intending to create space in my hips, in my body, in my life. As I hold that intention in my mind, as I breathe, focused on my goal, I slowly move into the goal. More space in the body. Sitting on the bottom, pulling the feet in, opening up the knees, chest up nice and tall, full breath there. And that's where we'll end our morning quiet practice. Thanks so much for joining. I'll see you again next Tuesday. If I don't see you again before, have yourself a super wonderful day.